Hello everyone and welcome back to another Mystic Mentor Versus series. On the left with the fanny pack riding into battle we have Rudy with Boros Convoke. On the right it's Tigers, Flowers, Tai, Oh My. On Golgari, Citadel. Rudy has started off the game with a Voldaran Epicure. Tai started off the game with a Llanowar Elves followed up by a Prosperous Innkeeper to undo the damage of the Epicure. Rudy decides to call up Thraven Inspector to help solve the mystery, getting himself a clue in the process. Tai decides to untap, tapping 3 and deploying Woe Strider. Woe Strider comes down, develops a goat, and the turn goes back to Rudy with Tai having blockers aplenty. Which is good, because Rudy's about to add to the world's population problems by adding 2 kites and a knight to the field. A more logical sequence of creatures I could not have thought of. Rudy then proceeds to find himself a 3rd kite for his knight, and then Tai takes his turn. Tai ponders for just a moment and then seamlessly passes back with 4 mana open, in no way a suspicious play. Rudy decides to go ahead and cycle a land and draw a card, look at his options. Sensing the Collect Company, he then deploys another kite, taps 5, makes another knight. 3 kites, 2 knights. Finding himself a Regal Leosaur and a Goblin Bushwhacker, pumps aplenty for his wide board Boros Convoke is known for. Tai casts the obvious Collected Company, with Zulaport Cutthroat and Llanowar Elves joining the board of creatures on his side. At the end of the turn, Tai, looking for more gas, sacks his goat, pinging Rudy for 1, gaining himself 1, and also gaining 2 life from the creatures that enter from Collected Company. Tai deploys another Innkeeper to the field, getting himself another treasure, slowly solving his mana problems. Taps 2 more and gets Vran, Executioner Thane, an old favorite from a previous video if you've seen our Azorius versus Golgari Citadel video. Rudy goes ahead and sets up his board and prepares to do math. And not just any kind of math, folks. He's going to do multiplication, sacking a kite so that goblins can be born. A natural evolution. He then goes ahead and deploys Regal Leosaur to the field, turning that kite into a flying cat. Oh yes. Turning his cards sideways, because math is for blockers, Rudy decides that Tai will do math while he does multiplication of damage. Tai goes ahead and makes several reasonable blocks against the biggest creatures, being the Knight Errants. However, he is still going to be taking 12 damage this turn at the minimum. Tai makes his trades. He does gain back 3 life thanks to Vran and the Zulaport Cutthroat, but his board is decimated. That's one way to get yourself a one-sided board wipe, folks. Just make your opponent block or they die. A tried and true strategy of go wide strategies. Tai goes ahead and passes back to Rudy, leaving 4 mana open again. Rudy goes ahead and just pings him with one of his Wine Keepers of the vampiric kind. Another one hits the field, and he's setting up for another massive Bushwhacker attack. And here is the pump. Yep, there it is. He turns everything sideways, tells Tai to do math. Tai decides to try and do the math, but then quickly realizes math is stronger than his board, and just goes and does a desperate Collected Company, hoping for multiple blockers and multiple death triggers for Vran and Zulaport. However, he only hits 1 creature, and Rudy quickly explains that 1, even if 2 for 1, is not enough, and Tai is exceptionally dead. Tai is going to go ahead and scoop it up without a Golgari Citadel in sight. Heading into the sideboards, we see Rudy brings in 2 Rest in Peace, 2 Wear and Tear. Tai brings in 2 Essica's Chariot, 2 Callous Blood Mage, 2 Reclamation Sage, and 2 Scavenging Ooze. Starting off game 2, Tai's on the play again. This time he starts off with the Elf again. Turns out when you run 8, it's pretty consistent. Rudy then deploys a land and a kite, sacks the kite to create goblins. Truly stepping forward with nature. Tai taps 3 and makes another Woe Strider and a goat. Rudy has deployed a group of 3 1/1s. He now plays another Epicure, pinging Tai for 1, putting Tai to 19. Then he sacks that blood token to another Gleeful Demolition, making 3 more goblins. However, good news, Rudy's attacking. If your Convoke opponent is attacking you with their 1/1s, that means they have no Convoke payoffs. And you can tell that Tai's playing a lot slower and a little more easily this time. He's breathing easily. He's feeling more comfortable. Because he can tell that the Convoke deck doesn't have the finishers it normally wants to see on these early turns. Rudy, stuck with a less explosive opener this time around, goes ahead and sees what he can do about the world's population problem, and he chooses, of course, like some, to make it worse by shooting Tai for 1. He then goes ahead and turns his 1-1 sideways, forcing Tai to solve the world's problems. Tai agrees to solve at least some of them by sacrificing a goat and sacking it to the Woe Strider to get a death trigger for the Zulaport Cutthroat, making a block, and taking really only 2 damage from that attack. After taking his Scry trigger from the Woe Strider, Tai takes his turn and deploys, a Scavenging Ooze. Quite good in this matchup, and debatably one of Tai's larger creatures. Tai passes back with Ooze mana up. Rudy slams down a Resolute Reinforcements. Rudy untaps with an even bigger board somehow than he ended the turn with, and looking for a Convoke payoff. Can he find it? He just goes ahead, sacks that blood token, discards land, draws, gets a clue thanks to Sherlock down there, and then goes ahead and just turns his 1-1 sideways. At this point, it's starting to feel a little bit like a desperate effort. Tai proceeds to eat cards out of Rudy's graveyard, specifically creatures, to grow the ooze, gain himself a little life, makes some profitable trades, just stop Rudy's board from getting quite so wide, and continues to devour creatures like the Resolute Reinforcements out of Rudy's graveyard. Heading into Tai's turn, he is tapping a terrifying 6 mana for his deck's calling card. It is Golgari's Citadel. Excuse me, Bolas's Citadel. Bolas's Citadel has come down. He has the Scry creatures. He has forms of life gain. This is not looking good for Rudy. Rudy's going to need to hope that Tai whiffs somehow, which is very hard to do when he's got the Scry creature in the Woe Strider and a wide board of creatures to sack to it in order to keep his life total high. And Zulaport Cutthroat is going to make it so that he doesn't lose that much life. Speaking of losing life, Tai's going to sack the Vran that already got a trigger off this turn, having dealt 3 to Rudy thanks to Vran the Zulaport Cutthroat, for a new Vran. Pro tip, this Vran is a new Vran, and as a new man, he has not seen a creature die yet. So if Tai sacks a creature like his Scavenging Ooze, he's going to actually get to gain 3 and deal 3 to Rudy again, because this Vran didn't see the last death. Oh, there it is. Prosperous Keeper off the top. It is all but over. Most of Tai's cards are essentially free, or as close to free as you can get. Yep, Catacomb Sifter. Yes, he took 3, but really, folks, he gained 4. So, Tai netted 1 extra life there. He's now just looking at the top of his deck, looking at his cards, counting his creatures, looking to see if he can combo kill Rudy, which he's already shot him for 6 just with the Vran and Zulaport triggers alone. So, Tai continues to scry a little bit. He's going to keep looking until he finds a 2-for-1 creature in the form of Woe Strider. And let's count up real quick, folks. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. That's 10 non-creature permanents. Let's go ahead and shoot Rudy for 18. Yep, there it is. On to Game 3. Game 3, Rudy decides to throw away another kite, some goblins, so they can have a good time. And Tai goes ahead and takes his turn 1. Can he open with an elf for the 3rd game in a row? Oh, this kind of talented magic you can only find with the Mystic Mentors. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see another Voldair and Epicure. It's Rudy's most common 1-drop for Tai's most common 1-drop. Rudy swings in fearlessly with the goblins, and Tai takes the damage, not willing to sacrifice an early resource like the elf. Now, he's going to pay 2 to play Vran, Executioner Thane. He's got a 2-2 bear to Rudy's 1-1 weaklings. But the weaklings can grow. Instead, Rudy's going to start a Forbidian cross-species relationship featuring a dinosaur and a human, and he's going to swing. Tai is going to leave the dinosaur alive so the human can have a friend, and instead kill the vampire. Rudy turns Vran over to see if Vran also sees enemy deaths. Tai informs him he does not, although that would be incredible, in this commentator's unbiased opinion. Tai then proceeds to deploy another Prosperous Innkeeper for the 3rd game in the row. Turns out when you run 4 of everything, you will see it a lot. He then flicks through his cards, plays a land. He's got the triple black. That's a strong sign he has Golgari's Citadel in hand, or he's at least setting up for it, and deploys Zulaport Cutthroat. So his life gain engines are very close to, oh my. Reckless Bushwhacker coming down, forcing Tai to make blocks where he's trying to make one-sided board wipes happen again, just like he did in Game 1. However, that is a temporary buff, and Tai has gained enough health, and oh no. Here it is again. Turn 4 this time, Golgari's Citadel. Excuse me, Bolas' Citadel. Bolas' Citadel comes on down. Tai has to hope, though, since he doesn't have a Scry creature, he cannot just go infinite with his deck and just cycle through it. He has to hope to hit, and he actually did not hit very well. He actually only managed to produce a Vran. However, a Vran might be enough if Rudy doesn't have the payoff. So that was scary for Ty for a moment, but Ty's going to block 2 creatures, this time killing the human-saurian duo. Love doesn't last forever, folks. And Ty's going to actually gain 3 life off that exchange and only lose 3 life, so it was a net no loss. Ty then goes ahead and deploys, a scavenging ooze, deploys an elf off the top, but he's got the ooze to gain some life. He has a little bit to play with. Yep, he's setting up by giving himself a green source by playing that green land off the top in the Slitherbore pathway. Ty's going to go ahead and start eating creatures out of Rudy's graveyard in order to gain himself 2 life and a little more breathing. Oh no, Collected Company. He's going to go find friends, and it's a great pair of friends. Prosperous Innkeeper and the Elf are going to gain Ty 1 life, get him another mana, and set him up to combo off this turn with that 1 Prosperous Innkeeper watching. Never has a halfling looked so malevolent as a Prosperous Innkeeper, with a Golgari Citadel sitting right above it. Ty then counts his permanents, realizes he cannot quite kill Rudy. Rudy takes his turn, swings, trying to lower Ty's board state to a manageable level. However, the problem is Ty can just keep on comboing off the top of his deck. So while these blocks are happening, the damage is negligible thanks to the Vran Executioner thing, gaining Ty 2 and dealing 2 to Rudy. And for those of us keeping track, this means that Rudy has taken a total of 8 damage this game just through trying to attack and kill Ty. Never has a brick wall looked like quite a good target for that deck. Ty then finds a Woe Strider. This could be it, folks. Woe Strider is a huge finisher for Ty's deck. It gives him the scries that he needs to find the cards he wants off the top. And then he's going to go ahead and turn his cards sideways because Ty can do math, and he realizes between the sack triggers from Vran on both turns, Rudy is dead, and that's going to give us a
knockout.